Welcome back, you ninnies.
Welcome to the Beer Can Cold Podcast with your hosts Will Merritt and JG Van Gran, a podcast where the suction line is always beer can cold. Take it away, boys.
Pour it cold in the tin. Door swings, let the day begin. Will says show up on time. JG grins, make the service shine. List the calls and call back. Clean the truck and cut the slack. One more quote, one more win. That's how you get the month to spin. If the phone feels slow, you know where to go. Ask the right thing, watch the whole shop sing.
So, it's been a minute. There's a reason for the intro. What a wonderful month it's been. It's almost been a month since we've been on. And just to point out, give another clue of a little bit what we're going to talk about at the beginning here. I'm on one of these today. You know, where's the camera? Right? But I had those kind of
light. Thank you.
I had those kind of like fresh right from the udder.
I hear this is better across the pond.
Oh, it's so good. So, welcome back, everybody. It's just me and Will today, and we just want to get back in the muscle memory of this, and just get back to what we do. But it was a really busy month. Well, both of us try to make it work several times, and it's like either you were out or I was out. But then I was fortunate enough to go to Scotland with Amanda for a week, and boy, what a life-changing experience that was. It was truly, truly great. And it was a dealer trip, so obviously everything was just, all the stops were pulled out. What a great experience it was. Thank you to the people from Dyke. I made some really good friends. We're going to have one of them on here. I don't want to tease it too much, but he's going to come on the podcast here soon. And so just a wonderful time, man. We got to see things and experience things that I would never be able to do again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear it's cool. I've never been to Scotland or Ireland. Flown through England, through London, but we're going to Ireland this fall.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So
well,
I've been drinking Black and Tans in preparation.
Black and Tans, that's awesome. So I'll tell you, the beer there is completely different.
That's what everybody says. Guinness, they said over there where it's not across the ocean. It's just a different story.
It's pure, man, and it's you can have more over there because it's like there's less chemicals in it or something, I don't know. But the food, even by the second day there, me and Dom, my wife, were talking about how much better we felt. The food was just really great. It was very much farm to table. Everything is really fresh, and then, I love America. Everybody knows on here that I'm born and raised South African, but I love America, and this is my home now. But what is so cool about going to a place like Scotland is America's 250 years old. They are 2,000 years old. You touch a building there, that building's been standing there for 2,000 years. And I'm a very big history guy. Yeah, and so my wife's heritage is actually Scottish. And so when we were gifted this trip, she didn't know I was going to do this, but I actually did a ton of history digging on just research on her family. And so we broke away from the group one day, and I took her around to all the castles and eventual places that her family built or had a hand in. And man, what a great day. The thing that was funny though is we walk up to the Enterprise car rental, because people in Europe don't really own cars. So Enterprise is a pretty big thing there. And I woke up and so reserved a Ford Focus, online, because, I don't want anything big. I'm in a foreign city. And I woke up, and the young Scottish lad took one look at me and said, "Sir, I'm no offense, but I think we can put you in a Mercedes S-Class for 20 pounds more because I'm not so sure the Focus is going to be comfortable for you. So we had a Mercedes all day. It was a great day, great trip. Oops. But then got to just see different parts of Scotland, got to go up to the Highlands, got to see all the history and experience and stay in places that was 500-600 pounds a night that I could have never afforded otherwise. Yes, I did wear a kilt. And I'll put that picture, if I remember, I'll edit the picture in here. They measured us all the day we got there, and then the last evening, the last soiree, everybody had to dress up. So good times. Dresses don't fit on big guys. I don't know if you knew that or not, but good. But just to be with the heating and air community, I wore my garb, my beer can cold garb out there. A couple of people asked about the podcast, and I know we got a couple new listeners out of that. So just a great experience. So enough about me. What's been going on at Effective Media and at the Merritt household last month?
Just busy. It's we've been shooting. I've had to fly up to the Quad Cities. We shot a TV commercial a couple of weeks ago. I just got it today. It's really good. I think I might want to cut the script just a hair. I wrote the script, and they do everything, so we tried to mention everything, and from boilers to fireplaces to heating and air conditioning, to commercial to everything. So it's sheet metal work. So it turned out really great, but I might have to cut the script a little bit. It seems a little fast.
Okay.
Shooting another one Friday, shooting another one Tuesday.
That's awesome. Hi there, Beer Can Cold Nation. Today's episode is brought to you by Praxis. Everybody talks about the goal: more profit, more growth, more wins. But here's the reality. As average ticket prices keep climbing, it's becoming more important than ever to stay organized and run real systems inside your business. Because the truth is this: the process is just as important as the goal. That's exactly why we partnered with Praxis Software. Praxis was built by contractors for contractors to help you stop guessing and start making confident business decisions. From pricing tools and sales calculators to better structure and clarity around your numbers, Praxis gives you what you need to build repeatable, scalable profit, not just hope it works. If you're ready to take control of your operation, call Marty and the gang today at 678-680-5926 or visit praxishvactoolbox.com. You can also find the direct link in the show notes. Praxis Software, because the process is just as important as the goal. I threw your name and your company around like I knew you personally. I'm just going to say that. I talked to several guys over there. I'm like, because everybody complained about media, and I'm like, man, I know a guy. If you watch this podcast, you'll get to know him. So it was actually, the marketing piece is. It's so important, and so many guys are struggling with it. I'm just telling you, you're in a great spot.
It's just hard. And then we had kind of an agenda tonight, folks, and then we said, you know what, we're just gonna kind of wing it. But I think we're still kind of in the shoulder season. We had some hot days. It cooled back down. Like the weirdest weather was Sunday.
Yeah.
I went out at 7:30. Was playing golf. I don't normally play on Sundays. We go to church, but boycotted it on Saturday, and they talked me into playing Sunday. And I went back out like 45 minutes later to leave, and it was like pollen blowing off the trees and 40-mile-an-hour wind, and it was crazy. We like froze our butts off. So it's gotten cold again. It's been in the 40s. It's been in the 40s every night. It warmed up today. It's gonna be warmer tomorrow, but still humidity. I just checked humidity is 24% right now, so it's not driving a lot of business. So I think a lot of service replacement companies, who I think a lot of you guys out there is what you do, and that's who we deal with regularly, or other than maintenance, not a lot of demand service is happening yet. Yeah. I have started to see more trucks just in my running around town and stuff in Charlotte, but I think it's about everybody's complaining, if they're don't have enough maintenance to keep them busy, that they don't have enough leads and so on and so forth. And I think we have to look at a little bit about our processes, make sure we're capitalizing what is coming in. And then when we get the opportunities, are we maximizing those opportunities? So let me tell a story real quick, and then I'll
please do, because I do have a lot to add here. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of our customers, some of our team was doing a call with them, and we just about everything we do, we have some way to record conversations, trackable phone numbers. I think this one was through Google local service ads, which Google provides that number, but we have the ability to listen to it. We dispute those calls for the contractor that are bad. But so
Right.
they had one they spotlighted to this customer. I'm not naming any names, but uh, a lady called in 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and said she needed a quote for a new. I need a new system. I need a new heat pump system. And the CSR is like, well, I'm sorry, everybody's out. And I'm kind of, cliff notes here because I
Mm-hmm.
was second, so I'm probably really messing up. So I'm secondhand story and from the real story, and probably like third hand really. But
Right.
they're like, no one's here. And she's like, no one can come out, And this is a big company and very well known in their service area. And she's like, kind of got dumbfounded. She started getting mad with the CSRs. Oh, well, the guys are out, then they're on their last calls. And she's like, "You mean I can't get anybody to come out? Like, maybe this weekend?" And the
I
CSR,
want, I,
no help
I
at all.
want to hand you money. I want to hand you thousands of dollars.
And it's just, so I don't know, but I know the company and the owner, I know the general man. I bet the general manager's head turned redder than I get when I'm out in the
I,
sun.
I know him too, and I know
Yeah,
he's
I know
that
you
turn.
know. And so anyway, she's like, the lady was continuing to get frustrated even more, and she's like, well, can you recommend somebody? And she's like, I don't know, you could Google it. And I'm like, I'm like, what? So I'm sure I have to find out what really happened after they presented this to the
Yeah.
owner. I think that's a snapshot of our industry sometimes that we're got stuff that we're missing that it was just handed to us. Yeah, who knows? And they got to still
Yeah.
have to go out and quote the lady and give her a price, but it sounds like she was highly interested and just kind of left that just because it's Friday afternoon. Maybe she's tired and I get it. But you got to maximize that stuff, especially this
Yeah.
time of year. So
You
anyway,
know, Will, what I've found is, and I jumped in a truck with a couple of our technicians over this last month, and just, um, one of the reasons were that my truck's transmission went, so it's in the shop. And so one of our technicians is my son and lives with me. So I got to, on the way home with him one night, run a couple calls, and I realized
oh, that
something.
picture.
Well, yeah, I realized something is that these are not the techs like we used to be, and I thought back and like why that is. Well, when I got in a truck and got to be a service technician, I had a wife and a little baby at home. We got married young, had a baby young, and I was 22, and there was no option. Like, there was not enough overtime. There was not enough me putting my hand up and working because we decided for her to stay home with Jack, our oldest.
You do all you could do to make all you could make.
Right.
You know,
And you maximized every call because you needed to, and
yeah.
callbacks were bad, and so we've been struggling with getting that level of buy-in.
Well, it's like
And
ownership mentality, and it's very
yeah,
hard to transfer that. Have employees to embrace that. That like that it's ownership, and it's very important, and it matters.
right.
Everything. I don't want to jump in too much, but I had one of our people say recently, well, I'm not in sales anymore. And this one person kind of moved positions like our whole company's in sales.
Yes,
Every
everybody is.
person. So,
You know what did Zig Ziglar say one time? He said, "You're always selling, even if you're not a salesman. You're selling to your son that you're a good father. You're selling to your wife that you're a good husband. This is
yeah.
what you do." It's sales has just gotten this negative connection because of used car salesmen. But the point being, and it's not just in our service department. It is, I'm struggling with some stuff in dispatch now, and we're rebuilding that team. Yes, I'm rebuilding my dispatch team right before summer, and there's a lot of training going on and all these things, and it's everybody has a little bit of an agenda, so you got to fight through the agenda to figure out is the company's best interest are. So it's all this like team building stuff that's super hard, and I know everybody that's listening struggling with some form of this. But I started doing something. I just started going around and saying the following phrase: "Thank you for taking care of our customers." And I did it by accident, and I didn't realize how actually powerful that ended up being because several of our service technicians would stop like mid walk and look at me. Go, what do you mean? I go, dude, thank you for taking care of our customers, because that's the most important person we have here. And I said, what do you mean? Well, the customer is the most important thing. Without them, we don't have a company.
Sure.
And so thank you for going out of your way and taking care of your customer the best you can. So we're looking, and I've been talking on the podcast a little bit about how we're shifting stuff in the service department. We have 2 new service managers now. Al, which is a really good friend of mine, he was our service manager. He actually got a better opportunity, moved on, and so I still talk to him every once in a while. But the 2 guys we have has been with our company for a long time, and I saw some leadership skills in them, and we're still testing the water and some stuff, but they're doing such an amazing job. But I looked the other day with them not getting rid, but like making sure that we have the right person in the right seat within the service department. The average age of my service department is 20 years old now.
Wow.
I have 13 technicians, and 2 of them are older than 25. My service manager is 25. My lead, the guy that coaches all our PM techs, is about 25. And then we have 2 older guys. The rest of them are all young guys. And I'm telling you, the callbacks are less. The ownership is there. These guys are hungry. They want to work. They want to be there. They're good, clean-cut young men. And we just hired 2 more today. And it's like, I'm very excited because, yes, is there going to be issues yet? Sure. But I don't have these curmudgeonly, old, angry that I have to be at work guys, right? And so then we hired a very strong dispatcher that worked in a plant, and he was in charge of 9 electricians. Well, his wife works for us, so he came and worked for us, and he's created this bond with the service technicians, and he's now the link between them and the service manager. And all of a sudden, man, there's this energy, and everybody is okay, and it's working good. But to your point of the story you just told, we're still struggling. Like, I'm still going back and listening to phone calls going, oh, why did you say that? But then I realized, instead of me getting upset about that, I asked myself this one question: have I coached? Have I showed them a better way? And the answer is no.
In the mirror and look at yourself and go,
That's right. They spoke to that customer in that way because I have not taught them a better way yet. And you hire somebody with prior company experience somewhere else that comes to you, and you go, well, they should know how to answer a phone. They should know how to talk to a customer. They don't, because they may not have ever been told.
Yeah, I think the assumption stuff, and I really think, our industry, that's one of the things that lacks the most. And one of the things that the companies that are being successful putting the time in is the training, and it's communication, it's soft skills. And I just was thinking about this too, and it sounds like your young guys are doing well, but just thinking about, you at that age of 22 being a service technician, but you were married and you had a child. And so you're used to this kind of interacting in this family atmosphere, and these technicians are going into that.
Yeah.
How are they? Did they know how to act? And, like the days, we're in the South of ma'am and sir, and the proper etiquette and stuff. And some of that gets lost. But I just think about that, how these young kids, I can call them, because I'm 56 next week.
Yes.
How they even think about that,
Right.
Like going, most of them aren't married. I mean, people aren't getting married until their 30s now.
Yeah.
Everybody's dating. They're like, I don't want to get married. And I mean, I hate it. I got to get into tangents here, but you hear a lot of stuff about that, that career is more important than family and things like that.
Yeah. I will never subscribe to that. My family brings me way too much joy. I'll give up my career for my family in a hot minute. And I love both,
Well, yeah, I do too. But, career helps the family.
That's right.
Yeah, it's one of the things you do well in your career. You can provide more for your family. But I don't know, it's just a different world. I'm working all over the place, but I was just looking at this post I did on LinkedIn, and it talked about how like these things had big meaning, these images, and I just lost it. I liked it, so I can go back and find it, but it had like a picture of I don't know, maybe 2005, and it had like 4 people family, and they were sitting down, and they all had their arms around each other, and it was like 2020. And then it was like 2 people, and then it was 2025, and it was 1 person and an iPhone and something else, and like Chat GPT or something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of our crazy world. That's
Well, I will tell you, in speaking to the amount of young people we're getting in, there is some good news for this industry. Is that it's becoming cool again to be in the trades.
Mhm.
And we're talking to more and more high schoolers than we did in the last couple of years. And, everybody in the industry had this, like, we're all freaking out because where's the next generation going to come from? And no, it's still not what it needs to be. But the word on the street is that the kids thinks it's cool again to get in a truck and go do your work, in an honest way. And I'm very excited about that. I'm just looking and I ask a lot of questions to these young guys coming in. I'm like, so why did you decide to come do this? And actually, one of the young plumbers we just hired, he played baseball in college for 4 years.
Yeah.
Division I. And he comes out and I said, well, you had opportunities to become a lawyer. You have this great education stuff. And he said, I like to work with my hands. And I heard being a plumber is cool. So I'm actually, I told Michelle to get with you guys and use him because we need a commercial. We need that kid to make a commercial for our company because that'll be the biggest recruiting tool you can have,
Yeah.
But I'm just seeing more and more of that because I'm looking, I send you some talking points and the myth was we just need better people. And I will put my hand up that I said that for a while, right? Well, this department can't get it done, so maybe we just need to find better people. But then you start really sitting back and go, man, what have we taught them? Have we even told them what their expectations are? And so to your point earlier about, that person that took that call from a customer, and I know that company too, it's like, I know they have processes. I know what the SOPs in that company probably looks like. And it's like, okay, was that SOP followed? What was the step-by-step followed, right? And I think that's where I'm focusing in now for the last couple of weeks now.
We're all guilty of that.
Right. We're rewriting these SOPs, refamiliarizing people with our procedures. Like, how do we walk a call? How do you interact? So I think there's a big part of that of like, let's not get rid of the people. Let's coach them.
Well, I think it's, every call should have a process that's followed, like this. For me, from the CSR answer, of course, it's going to go down different roads depending on the conversation, what's needed, what's happening. But is a tune-up being done the
way it needs to be
same way every single time? Who were we talking to the other day and talking about this? I'm trying to remember. But I was like going, how are you doing your tune-ups? And they said like, I can't remember if there's something like they were struggling with, maintaining or retention on their maintenance, and then that's what I remember now. They had a lot of calls where there was $0. So they already prepaid maintenance and they weren't getting anything added to it. And so I'm like, well, what are your technicians doing? Are they going out and taking a picture of the coil before they clean it and then a picture after? Are they taking a picture showing like, look, you got some ductwork issues here? Are they asking, engaging the customer when they get there? Hey, is there anything going on? Are you seeing some areas that are uncomfortable in the home? Anything you want to tell me about? I think a lot of that's what happens. They just come, hey,
yeah,
I'm coming to do the maintenance, and then I go do the maintenance, and I'm there for 45 minutes, and I'm gone.
We had that actual conversation just today.
Turned on here. I don't know how it turned on and why.
But so we look at Q1. We had a phenomenal first quarter to this year, and just completely, absolutely blessed with the quarter we had. Especially Q4 was good, but Q1 was just great. And then you compare it to last year's Q1. And so one thing, though, is our maintenance department's down. And so the very first thing is, and we've talked about it on here, is, we redid our PM program. And I've been keeping tabs on that. And so where we weren't selling very many of them, now we're averaging 140 PMs a month we're selling, right? So everybody's bought in now. It's really moving. To the point we're getting nervous that we're not going to have enough PM techs to actually cover all the visits we have, right? So
every opportunity when you talk.
Oh yeah.
You have a agreement.
Yep. And so
you should hear all the benefits.
Oh yeah, and so it's everybody's buying in, but now so my number one guy in PM. He's actually a guy that could be a service technician by now, but he enjoys PM so much, and he enjoys teaching young guys how to do PM. So he's very valuable to us in that position. And we were at lunch with Travis today, and he said, I said, man, I just noticed that our monthly revenue on PMs are down as far as, the things that the guys find on PMs. However, our monthly payments is way up because we're selling so many more maintenances. I said, so it's okay. We just need to keep an eye on it. And he said, what's interesting? He said, last month I ran 40 systems, and all 40 of those systems were train systems we put in within the last 2 years. They're all XVs. There's nothing to offer the customer on that. And I said, I agree. I said, so Travis, tell me about your mindset. He goes, my mindset is that customer's paid me to be there to make sure that system lasts them another 15 years. So I'm there to clean the coils and be a good steward of, being there and doing a good job for them. And I said, are you coaching our young guys with that philosophy? He said, we're coaching them to, if you see an opportunity to take pictures and present the customer with opportunities, like you said, right? Ma'am, this capacitor is without range. We need to look at it. Or, if a homeowner asks something about air quality, the guys are coached enough to do that. But us not driving service meetings anymore with, why did you not sell? Why did you not sell? And our guys actually doing what they're meant to be out there to do, the morale's better. Customers likes us better. The customer complaints have gone away of like, well, every time you guys show up, you're selling me something.
Well, like we talked about that last
Yeah.
time. And disarm that customer as soon as you get there and go, look, I'm not here to sell you anything today.
Right. And so
great.
We're keeping an eye on it, because obviously you still need to make money in that department to keep it afloat. But we promise a customer good maintenance. Let's give it to them. Right. And so that's the young crop of guys that Travis has been pushing through. It's like, I just see that in them. And it's like, we're technicians first. We're going to take care of our customer. And if we see something, we're going to mention it. Well, and that's all,
I think some of them, they get frustrated. Like, all my calls today, all my maintenance calls are all new systems.
Yep.
And like, well, you should be like happy going like, look, we have this customer and then we made a big sale to them and they have a new system. I'm here to make this thing last as long as it possibly can.
Because you know what that homeowner does that bought that really good system from you and that you have now maintained for 2 years and cleaned their coils? Their neighbor system go out and they go, man, don't call anybody else but these guys because they take care of you. They make sure it's good for the next 15 years. You need to call them. And that's where the word of mouth comes from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, no, not here. I'm just, we're here to keep this thing running like a, well-oiled machine. And then again, if you see, there's always little things, but again, it's not selling it to them. It's just bringing it up to them and saying, hey, just want to let you know about this. It could help with that, but it's not something. It's okay, but it could help. You could benefit you, and it could have some consequences if you leave it like it is.
Yeah. And then the one comment I did want to make today too, and something that I'm starting to realize, is that the most important department in your building is really not your change out or your service department. It's your front office.
Yeah, service.
Because that's where everything starts. And if they're not coached up properly, and if they don't understand their KPIs, and they don't understand how to answer the phone within 3 rings and do all this other stuff, that's where you're going to lose the money. And that's where we're putting our emphasis now, and we're seeing it pay off. It's like getting that front office to a point where they feel comfortable and they are engaged and they want to do the best.
That typically, unless it's someone existing customer, just call and schedule my maintenance.
That's right.
A lot of the call volume is people in distress, and they need to understand that this is not something they planned on, and it could be a real stressful situation. But you guys are doing plumbing now. It could be a plumbing emergency. You could have a water leak going on in the house, and they don't know where the emergency shutoff is. And they got to understand that they're like, hey, you got to console this person. It's okay. We're going to take care of you.
And that's
do that immediately. You're going to win the customer.
And that's what drove our decision to. And now here comes the hate. Here comes the TikTok hate. Right? I'm just warning you. Okay. When I'm a customer with a toilet overflowing, or my heat is out and I have a baby in the house, I do not want to pick up the phone and talk to an AI answering machine. and we learned that. We tried it, and it's may be good for your company. I know good friends of mine that own companies, and that's all they have is the AI answering service. Good for you if you can make it work. But I'm telling you, our customers flat out told us within a 60-day span, this is not for us. We like to talk to you guys. We like the human interaction, and my daughter does all our happy calls for us, and there was a trend, and we saw the trend get better when we started interacting with our customers again. Now it's an investment because you have to have enough people to answer 2,000 calls a day.
Yeah, and I think AI answering has its place.
Maybe, yeah.
One of our customers that they're a plumber, and they just endeavored into heat and air conditioning this year. That's one we're actually shooting a commercial for next Tuesday. But they are changing their after hours thing, their AI stuff. They use AI for overflow. If
Yeah.
their line is busy, and I like that. But I gave them a tip, and I think they're going to do it. They're switching to a Boca,
Mm-hmm.
and a number of people use them. I've been around them. Again, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They've all gotten way better in the last couple of years, but they're looking to switch to it. It has a little better, I think, integration with ServiceTitan. They told me, but I mentioned one thing to them. I said, "Hey, this is a couple companies told me they do this there because you can feed it the message you want it to say.
Mm-hmm.
It does start learning with the AI side of it, but to let people know that, hey, it's after hours. I'm an AI
Yes. Yep.
answering service.
I agree with that.
That no one should be frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, it sounds so real, you
Yeah.
know. And I listened to a couple of calls the other night for this same company, and I could hear the people frustrated because like it didn't get it, like they were repeating it back to them, but then it wasn't. They hung up eventually.
Yeah. No, and I'm not being some elitist standing on a soapbox saying it's bad for all situations. We're still utilizing some of it for after hours because we have somebody live till 9 p.m. Anything after that.
Hey, raise my hand.
Yep.
Track call volume.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned this on a prior episode. Podium did a survey recently. They said 40% of your calls are going to come after hours. That's much higher. And so when people get home from work, but we've tracked it over the years, and really 9 o'clock is where it just dives off the cliff.
Yep. So we have somebody live till 9. Because normally people would be like, okay, they don't expect you to be, we're not Washington, D.C.
I was just going to leave you a message.
Yes.
Oh, really?
But we had a lot of heartache even coaching the AI. The AI was really messing up. The AI started fighting. So we would, my CSRs, we get a lot of texting. A lot of customers text us.
Well, after hours. Yeah.
Yep. Well, even during the day. And so they would be texting with the customer, and the AI would come in and start battling with the CSR to take over attention, and then would negate the things the CSR is saying, like, "Hey, I can help you here," and the AI would say something different. So we probably just had a bad experience, but we very quickly just decided to go back to live people, hire more for our department, and
Are y'all running 2 dispatchers, a second shift almost?
No, so something interesting about second shift, I'll tell you in a second. But no, we just upped. We did that much call volume for years with only 2 to 3 people up front, because again, we didn't realize how important that piece of the business always are. You're focusing on the service guys and the install, and that's where the money's coming from. But we've upgraded now, and so in the middle of summer, we will have 5 people full time in there and the 1 part time that will be in there.
If the phone ain't ringing, you know what you can do. You can pick the phone up and call people.
That's right. So they're very good at outbound too.
For dollars.
Yep. And so my daughter is coming in part-time for us in that department, and then she's also going to help in accounting. So it's just really good. But we want to make sure this year that we answer everything we can coming in the building. I don't want anything to go to voicemail if I can help it. And so it's going to be a challenge, and we're just going to see what the revenue does. But I can already tell you we've been doing it for 2 months, and the revenue is up.
Yeah.
Because we're just talking to more people. Yeah. And so, the outbound call thing too, because I hired, and this was a very smart thing we did, and it wasn't really my idea, but I'm going to claim it. We hired one person that has a lot of experience in the front office, and we made her the maintenance specialist. So everything commercial, ice machines, residential, she is over or getting ready to be over everything that's maintenance oriented. So she lives and breeze nothing but those maintenances, keeping the schedule full, keeping the calls coming throughout, because we're moving some stuff around. What's happened with our company is on the commercial maintenance side, for years, they've been kind of selling contracts. So the guys are doing PMs in the middle of summer. So I'm changing all that, saying, no, we have 2 commercial young guys that can do commercial PMs when they need it, when it's a once a quarter visit. But the rest of my commercial guys is going to be ready to take, my rooftop's not working type of stuff.
Yeah,
so we're just moving the stuff around a little bit.
Somewhere that's the person that can get there. And,
that's right.
We would hear it. We have a lot of customers that do like commercial too. And you hear those phone calls that it's a restaurant calling,
Yep.
it's some kind of business, and they're like, I don't care. And again, if the price goes out the window, I don't care. Can you get here? It's a 10-ton rooftop, whatever. I need it replaced.
Yeah.
And get there and get it done quickest. It's the same thing in the residential side.
Yeah, and we're setting ourselves up pretty nicely right now, and then it has been for a number of years, but we're smoothing it out now to where we can walk up to a restaurant and say, we can do your heating and air, we can do your kitchen equipment, your refrigeration stuff, your hot side, your cold side, and we can handle your PMs, all out of the same company. The only thing we can't, and the plumbing, the only thing we can't touch is the electric. We don't have an electrical license, and I don't know. We do. We have an electrical license, but it's the smaller one. We don't have an electrician on staff, so I don't know if we ever want to get into that. But we're trying to set ourselves up now to go around and say, hey, Mr. Restaurateur, Mr. Chef, we can do everything you need to in your building, front to end. And I think that's going to be pretty exciting for us when we can pull all that together.
Yeah, one call.
One call.
Covers it all.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what another little tip, something that we came up with not too long ago, is they're going to put QR codes on stickers on all the equipment. So now the chef or homeowner, whoever, can just walk by, scan it, and book online. Don't even have to call. You can just book right online, and it goes right into our Service Titan. So I think we're setting ourselves up. We're trying to be as efficient as possible.
It's just the less friction there is, the better. So I think, guys, as we're kind of winding down here, just think about it like this. Do everything you can when that call comes in to help that person.
That's right.
Whoever it is, be nice. How can I help you today? I'm going to make your day better.
That's right.
The right place, because I can tell you this right now. I'm a homeowner. I'm a consumer too, like all of you out there, all you heat and air conditioning owners, and the general public is used to bad service.
Yes.
Thinking in the trades industry. So when you go out and you really surprise them when that first phone call, again, back to how important that department is, the frontline people, it really can make a difference. And then, of course, then you got to back it up when that technician gets there, he or she gets there. But I tell you, you start it with that. Again, I can tell you right now, consumers are busy. My wife, anytime something comes out here to do one thing, she's like, "Will you do this too?" I'm like, "Lisa, no, they're not going to paint that fence." Well, that's exactly how it is. Remember our old boss, his joke, Jeff Burris would go like, I'd get a contractor. All right, I need something done. They'd come to the house. Hey, I'm ready to do it. And then, okay, they'd leave and couldn't get them to come back.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And the one thing I will say is, for any new company owners out there, anybody that is getting into this industry, you're going to screw up, and your tech's going to screw up, and your front office is going to screw up. But you know what? Own it and see that as an opportunity to deliver the best customer service ever. When we mess up, when a technician messes up in the house, we have a callback, whatever, we go out of our way. We have a stepped process to make sure that when we're done there, the customer know we were sorry that we messed up. It happens, but we're going to make it correct 100%. And then, if it was bad enough, send them a basket of something. It's okay. It's going to cost you $100, but it's going to buy you a customer for life.
I think again, small business owners, heat and air conditioners get too caught up. Oh, it's going to cost me.
Don't worry about it.
I can tell you right now that this goes back to different studies. It actually goes back to an automotive study about people buying automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
Bought one brand and you had no problems with it. You were less likely to buy that brand than if whatever brand automobile you purchased, you had issues with, but the manufacturer took care of it.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's a big thing about hey, it's not perfect, but if you back it up and you just, again, you're very honest with the consumer, let them know that carries a lot of weight.
No, you're right. Well, buddy, I am so glad we decided to get back in the saddle. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I got a couple different people. We've been talking to a lot of new people. We hired a new salesperson, so he's wearing me out on Zoom calls constantly.
That's awesome.
We've talked to a lot of people recently. I've talked to a lot of cool people, and I think there'd be a handful that we could definitely get on here.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely. There's a good friend that I met on the Daikin trip that is all the way up in Fargo. Him and his wife were accountants and decided to become contractors, so I'd love to get them on. Also, we have another coach that I've known for a while that we're getting on. We have somebody from Daikin coming on. That's just on my side. I know you have some guys too, so we just need to fill out the calendar and, get these guys to start lining up so we can ask them lots of questions.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you didn't find today boring. We just wanted to jump in and just have a chat again. Just get back in the saddle.
Yes, and we may throw a thing out of just say some social posts and it's like, hey, if you got something specific you'd love to hear about. I mean,
Yes.
between the two of us, we got, I don't know how many years. I got 30.
Yes. I got 24.
Yes, that's almost as old as I am.
That's right.
We got some knowledge. Not saying we're experts, but we've
No.
been around the corral a few times, so to speak. So.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for listening, everybody, and we will try to circle back up next week.
I'll tease one. I forgot. So we had probably one of our most watched episodes back it's almost a year ago.
Yes.
When I was down at the beach, and we got into the rest where we really started talking about Bigfoot. So the whole UFO scientist disappearing thing is hot and heavy. So look forward to that end of May.
I am so excited.
Early, JG. Most all the rest of my buddies are coming down on Thursday. I'm going down Wednesday early so we can do the podcast.
Okay.
Oh, we went to a concert together. Sarah said, "You're on our podcast," and we're going full aliens.
I am in. And then I think that I have heard rumors that there is an actual Bigfoot convention up here in North Carolina in the mountains.
He
I
went
want to
it last year.
I want to propose that we do a road trip, a day trip, and we go set up the full studio. We'll bring a table.
Overnighter.
Yes.
There.
I think so, but I think we should go out in the woods that night. Like we should go Bigfoot hunting, like the whole do the, I'm in. I think we should. I'm going to find out the dates, and I think we should do it.
We'll talk about that on that podcast too.
That's a very good segue. And right here, I'll put in for the end of this. I'll put in the video that I created that I'm too scared to share in the beginning of the podcast. But I'll put the one in that I made for our intro where. Our Bigfoot friend is actually singing our intro song. So I'll put it in. It's hokey as hell, but love it. I absolutely love it. So, all right. And sorry for the people listening on Apple and all that other stuff. You're just going to have to hear great music. Just trust me that you want to go to the YouTube channel and find Bigfoot singing it because it's definitely something. So, well, thanks everybody for listening. And thanks, Will. We will be back next week.
All right. Later, brother.
Later.
From the front lines of heating, cooling, and business, this is the Beer Can Cold Podcast, where the suction line is always beer can cold. Hosted by JG Van Gran and Will Merritt. Crack one open, turn it up, Bigfoot approved. Take it away, boys.
We already sweat, boots on the mat, jawbone set, crawling in the crawl space, bread running hot, filter dust thick, yeah, gotta clear that cloud. It's that beer can cold, turn it till it bites, sweat on the floor, pressure in the lines tonight, yeah, beer can cold, grind it till it holds, from the attic to the rooftop, we run it beer can cold, yeah. Rooftop hum, metal skin burns, 10 on unit.